What's up, y'all? I'm Ziza.
I'm Dorian.
And this is DZ Linqs.
Welcome back to those of y'all who've been here before with us. Welcome to the newcomers. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss future shows. And today we're going to discuss kind of the back and forth, because I know a lot of people, when you leave religion for spirituality, sometimes there's the back and forth of, am I doing the right thing? Is this wrong? Am I going to go to hell? Like, right, I know I get that a lot from a lot of my clients.
The wrong path.
Right. So I guess today we're going to talk about the things that, we've already discussed how we kind of got into spirituality.
But maybe more so go the back and forth, or the things we find ourselves doing that is still religious, and then, kind of ping-ponging back and forth,
And like what set us in stone to decide to stick with spirituality as opposed to religion. And also, though, like some of the harder, more testing points of spirituality, because it's not all easy. People always make it seem like, because we're, spiritualists, now life is all happy, hunky-dory, and that's not.
And it's for the same, like, I stick with it, and it's hard. I stick with it, and it's hard for the same reason.
Right.
Meaning, it's like, it's empowering.
Yeah.
But you also have to take responsibility for yourself as well. So
what Spider-Man said, with great power comes great responsibility. And it's very much that. Because it is really rewarding. Some days it feels like it's like a high for me to feel so connected to the universe, and to feel like
connected.
Source is just giving you what you want and just pouring into you. It feels so good. But on the flip side of that, when you don't have, when it's not one of those days, it feels so utterly dark and sad and just depleted.
Question everything. Like, am I doing this right? Am I saying this right? Am I doing this ritual right? Should I be doing this?
Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Like, is this God's way of telling me that this is not what I'm supposed to be doing? Because I know in the beginning I had a lot of those moments, and even throughout spirituality, I had a lot of moments where I was like, Ziza, fuck this shit, because this is, I don't feel like it shouldn't be this hard. Like, obviously I'm not doing something right, and that wasn't the case.
No, because sometimes it's like everybody expects it to be so easy, and so when it's not easy, you automatically start to second guess and self-doubt. But the difference between how I feel when it comes to religion and spirituality is, like, when I get out of my bag, I still I understand when I'm having those days. I understand that I'm still kind of, religion is ingrained in us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, because it's taught from us from very. If you think about it, like, even the toys. Like, my daughter has this toy. It was one of the first toys, and she actually got it from two different people, two older people. And it's that "Now I lay me down to sleep," and it's that toy. So we literally hear it all our lives. Then you go to school, and then it's just your. And if you're in the South like we are, you have to at some point go to church. Right. It's in the artwork. It's like ingrained in us, and it's hard to
in, like they say, church and state is separated. It is not.
It is not.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if there is no other, like, I know this has nothing to do with this show, but if nothing else proves that Roe v. Wade was overturned today, that's very, like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything besides religion?
Right.
So,
because again, everybody do a lot of fuck shit in the name of Jesus.
Yeah. For real. And then the shitty thing is the people, the politicians and stuff that wanted to force that to happen, they're still gonna get abortions for their mistresses. It's all of a sudden gonna be okay then, because they have the money to do that. Right. Only the people that don't have the funds or the means to do that are gonna be fucked.
Even the name God was something like for me in the beginning, because I'm like, what do I name this being, this thing, this omnipotent thing?
It's such a generic,
but God has so much behind it. Yeah. But until I understood who God was, and how God works. And
I still have an issue sometimes. Sometimes I think it's easiest, but I think I feel more comfortable saying source, because I know that there's a source energy for everything. I think my issue with the word God is because it's man-made and it was given to force upon us, not the actual being.
Right. So normally I'll say especially when I'm in meditation or just speaking affirmations, I say source or spirit, because that is nameless. That is what's in the name. You know what I'm saying? So I know it is. All of it is connected, but just the energy behind God is what makes it a back and forth for me. I know who God is, but
I know what you feel like. I know when you're speaking to me. Usually, sometimes I get in my head like I don't say nothing. But for me, like when I say spirit, and sometimes I'll say my spirit team, even though that always reminds me of a fucking cheerleader. But for me, like my spirit team, I could be speaking of source or my higher self or angels or ancestors. So sometimes I'll say spirit when I'm talking about all of them. But for me, if I'm speaking directly of God, I'll say source or source.
Because I am not arrogant enough to think that there isn't something bigger than me. But I am confident enough to know that it ain't what religion tells me it is. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to religion, I feel like I'm poised to fuck up at some time. Like everything is always
you're
don't
sinning,
sneeze.
you're going to hell.
Don't sneeze.
You do this, you're going to hell. Like you literally can't fucking wake up in the morning without going to hell.
So now I'm just anxious all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying?
And stressed the fuck out. Like and I like you already know, like, you know, part of me personally deciding to come out and say that I was attracted to women is because I really, even though I was not a church going person, I was taught that I was gonna go to hell
first, women. You
know what I'm saying?
And when you wake up in the morning, so it's like, and then that puts you, and then even before coming out, just as a child, just hearing that, so you like, man, so that something that little, so then that's what even started me on a path, because it's like, so you mean to tell me the God that y'all serve is just sitting there picking and choosing,
like almost like they want you to go to hell, because first of all, you can't do anything without going to hell, and then secondly, like, you created me, you're like my parent, you're supposed to love me, and I know that I love my kid regardless. There are a few things that I can think of that my kid could do that would make me, and even still, I would love her.
I can't remember this guy, but he said some real shit. He was like, it was like a conversation with a guy type of monologue or whatever. And it was like, I'm supposed to trust in you as my father, but there's no way in hell that I would sacrifice my son.
Right. Exactly.
And I'm supposed to love you. I'm supposed to see you as this thing.
I would sacrifice myself before, you know, I just can't see God being what religion tells me that God is. Also,
because if that was the case, half of them wouldn't be here.
Right. And then it's that whole thing of, I know I'm definitely gonna ruffle some feathers with this one, but it's
y'all girls
that whole right. Me too. It's that whole thing with God is a man, like, but men don't birth babies. Men don't create. Like, before y'all piss a fucking fit, I understand that we need the spark from you guys. I get it, but you don't birth babies. You know, y'all don't have a womb to create life. Right. So to house life. So I just know how. But the God who made us all is a man. I don't understand. Now I will say that I don't think that God is a. I think either God is both or nothing.
I think it's nothing.
But I definitely don't think it's a man. Exactly. It's a nothing and an everything.
And I think that's that human shit where you try to put gender on something that's so much bigger than that.
Everybody always wants to put everything in these fucking boxes.
Man is great, so God has to be a man. No.
Right. And that's that white supremacy, patriarchy.
Right. But even if you're looking in another practical way, who runs the household? The men don't know what to do most of the time. I'm not saying every household, but he can't run. Even in traditional marriages, right? He goes to work and gives her the money, and she knows exactly. And 9 times out of 10, if she ever leaves, you are lost. Because guess what? You are there to do a job.
I worked for this couple. I mean, millionaires. Like, they had, a company or whatever. And she seemed like the docile kind of wife. And she got upset one day and she left, and he literally looked at me and said, I can't do this without her. Like, go get her. Right. Because I can't do it. Right. And prior to that, he had always been me, I'm this, I'm that. And it's like, because the women are the ones who run the household.
Right. And then it's like that whole, oh, God is a jealous God, but don't be jealous. You don't be jealous though. So which one is it?
I'm supposed to, as a human being, I'm supposed to control my feelings, my emotions, but God, who created everything, is not supposed to. I don't like none of it. These are my issues with religion, and I don't want to seem like I'm just here to bash religion, because that's not the case. I'm just explaining
who I am today without religion.
Right.
It's just a couple of tweaks here and there that, like, I don't knock who you what you name your source is on you. That's what's
everybody has to do their own, take their own path.
But when it comes down to you smiting me for God, and did y'all sit and have a conversation about me?
Right.
And if so,
I can pull a couple cards and I can, run this pendulum and talk, but what do you, like, how does that work for you guys?
Right.
I just don't. And then what is that called, where they flip to a certain page in the Bible, and that's them God speak. That's divination. I forgot what it's called. It's biblically something, but it's divination. The altar candles, the anointing you with oil, the holy water,
praying,
like all of, like, what? Like, I don't
just
know.
Like, that our Father, how they even brought that to you. And I was even reading, when I got coming into spirituality, some of these things, they are put there for a reason, but spirituality teaches you what they're for, and not for you to, it be some lesson that you need to learn,
be abused by it,
and the book be thrown at you if you don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think spirituality is for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Whether you calling source, you calling on ancestors, you calling on, because everything is an energy. At the end of the day,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, like God energy, Christ energy.
Stop my mic down, y'all.
What?
Fuck it. No, it's just
like Christ. Like, here we go. Christ is an energy, not a person.
Yeah.
So when
I hear
religion
look at Christ like a deity.
That energy.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, because we're all energy. So yeah, but
and everybody waiting for this guy to come back, and when the resurrection is you waking up, you know what I'm saying. But that's what I say when I say religion makes me weary, spirituality makes me feel confident, you know what I'm saying, because it's empowering me to understand that I'm just not out here flailing around. But if I'm not ready, I can also take that, and that can also be something to give me anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Because some days that's that back and forth. Because some days it does give me, I'm like, oh, all of this is my fault.
Right, exactly. Like, you have to look at yourself. And that's another thing. Like, you're taught in religion that bad things are the devil and good things are God. Whereas spirituality, you're taught that it's you. Like, you are the good and the bad. Right. What happened is because you invited. And that's not to make you feel like everything is your fault, but you are controlling everything that happens, whether you know it or not. Now, there are things that, kind of put them into motion,
right,
for you, and it's like people like karma.
Right.
There is, you get your how did they put it? You get your karma. They get their karma based off what they did to you, and you get your karma based off how you responded. So, spirituality, I don't know. I feel more connected and more
involved.
Involved in with your spirituality life than I did with religion.
Right, because
religion, I just felt like I was in trouble.
I'm supposed to sit here and wait on Daddy to come and walk me to every place, and so now I'm just waiting here, and I'm like, and then Source like, hey, we been here.
What are you doing?
Here when you?
I'm right here, and even like the day I remember the day I had a connection with my grandmother for the first time. Like when I was sitting at my altar, and the way they communicate with me is through pictures, like images in my mind, and now feeling like I can feel them. But to see the pictures and to feel her, and she was just like, she felt like so much love. But the thing that I got the most is I was waiting for you. Like,
welcome.
For 20 something years. Like and I told my mom, I was so overwhelmed, but it was like I was overwhelmed with love because I told her, I said, because when my grandmother passed away, I was 13. And now I'm 35. And so 20 y'all got it. Do the math. Anyway, so but after all these years, it just felt like she just loved me just as much as she did when I knew her, you know, as a little girl. But it did feel like I've been waiting here, and I think that's the same thing with Source. Like, y'all are waiting for me to come back, and I'm right here.
I'm right here.
Right. So
it's like, man, like, I think we've always dibbled and dabbled back and forth with spirituality, even growing up before, you know, we even really knew the ins and outs of everything. But I think what solidified spirituality for me is when I got sick.
Y'all. My sister's having an emergency. I'm listening. I'm here with y'all.
And when I got sick, though, you know what I'm saying? Because at first it was like, oh God,
religion, right? You would have had to pray it away.
And then no, spirituality said, call these things forth into your own shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I call these healings
and connect with your ancestors because they already have the answers that you're looking for. All the herbs that everything that we need is here on this earth.
And then it got real crazy. Like I had MRIs, like all the doctors, like I had to go to the doctor because I was having double vision and stuff like that. And I had MRIs, CTs. I'm like, we don't see nothing, ma'am. We don't know we don't even, but we can give you this Band-Aid, but here's the side effects. You might not want to do that. So y'all can keep that prescription.
I'm gonna figure this shit out.
I'll figure it out. And the more I allow spirit to take control and be a co-creator with me,
right?
Everything just started falling in. I'm like,
right. I had been to so many doctors about my womb issues, and they couldn't figure it out. The only thing they kept fucking saying to me was, "Oh, you just be on birth control." The birth control makes me crazy. I don't mean like, I mean like fucking insane. Like I called my partner and yelled at him for not being there. No, yelled at him and told him not to come home, and then called him back and was crying because he wasn't home. And he's like, "Bitch, are you okay?" And this was like the first year of our relationship, so I know he had to be like, "I don't know if I want to go back with you." So I started looking up all these different herbs, and I came across this like herbal encyclopedia, and then it's like usual. She happened to be working on some herbal stuff too, and she ended up making a tincture, and I ended up finding the herbs, and that was all that I needed. I just needed to be. I needed to keep using it. That was my problem.
Consistency.
That's
what everything. But that's the thing with spirituality.
Consistency, which is the hardest thing for me,
because you have to be there and have to be confident in yourself when it seems like you know nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Yeah. And then this last week, I'm like, dude.
And you know what? The pattern app for me, I don't know about y'all, but the pattern app for me is the cheat code.
Oh, yeah.
That helps. I don't know if y'all are familiar with it, but the pattern helps. Pattern out.
The pattern
helps. Fucking shit. The pattern out app helps. God damn it, get the pattern
Check
out.
out the pattern.
And I'm not right. And I'm not affiliated with them, but I should be.
But they don't. Come here, pattern.
But no, seriously, that's
get your name right.
Right. The shade. Oh my God, is there trees in here? But no, that helps me a lot too. But spirituality, for me, it gives answers instead of just pray it out. Just sit on your hands.
That cookie cutter. Just pray about it,
and not to say that we don't pray. I pray all the time. I just don't
faithfully
pray, and
prayer is instead of a ritual thing. Prayer, my being is my prayer. You know what I'm saying? So I pray through creativity. I pray through meditation. I pray through everything. You know what I'm saying? It's not just this, oh Lord, please give me something and I'll be good in return.
That's another. And while we're on the subject, let's kind of segue into how meditation is different for different people, because everybody doesn't meditate the same way, and I don't want everybody always thinks that
you're supposed to be quiet and sometimes
quiet your mind, and that's what meditation. That's not the same for everybody, because everybody's not capable of doing
sometimes that's the only time where you can sit and listen to your thoughts, and then when you're still you're able to be like, oh man, I don't even feel that way. Okay.
Yeah.
Or
realize that those thoughts are not even yours. So I want people to get out of the idea of, because there are different ways to meditate. Like, you know, like we had discussed, you can meditate while you paint. I used to meditate while I cut the grass, because I'm a mom and I got all these animals and I have a partner, so it's constant. I'm constantly hearing my name. I'm constantly being pulled on, tugged on by something. So my headphones, me cutting the grass, that was my only time. So that was when I would use that time to meditate, and also that was when I received messages the easiest. Because I was relaxed. I wasn't like all tensed up and worried. Right. And then, you know, some people like to paint when they meditate, and then you did
okay.
Yeah, let's go.
And then here's the thing with spirituality, there's no one set way. So I use mantras, I use quiet meditation, I use mudras, again, painting, or just listening to birds, whatever, anything that can take me away. And 9 times out of 10, my brain takes me away all the time. So even when I'm just sitting.
That's another thing when you meditate, people feel bad because they're like, I'm supposed to clear my mind. No, the majority of the time when you're meditating, especially in the beginning, it's just you pulling yourself back. You'll sit there and you'll get quiet, and then a thought will take you off, and then you realize, oh no, shit, I'll stop. Just pull yourself back. Don't be mad at yourself. Just start over. And for a while, that's gonna be you meditating. Right. You have to train your brain, or train you just like you train any other muscle.
Right. And this other guy, he was saying, like, when you kind of watching your thoughts like a movie. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that one, I don't need that one. I don't need that one. And I think the more you do it, because you start to trust yourself and trust what you're being shown, and it's like, oh, you wake up one day and you're like, I didn't even know that was working.
Right, exactly. And I do realize that I feel better, or I handle situations better on the days that I meditate. But sometimes I won't lie, it's like pulling teeth for me, because I am a Gemini. It drives me nuts to sit still. So I can't meditate like that all the time.
I'll go just consistently, and it'll take like one day I'm like, no, I don't feel like it. And then it'll lead to a week of not meditating. Yep. But again, I have to be gentle with myself. I'm like, okay, because of who I am, I know it's time to switch it up. Yeah, it's time for me to find another meditation.
This has become stagnant
because my brain gets bored. I get so bored. Right. And or sometimes it's just a different situation. The situation calls for something different. You know what I'm saying?
Also, though, you don't have to go out and spend all this money. Let me say that too. On the meditation pillows, on the everything. And then, of course, you want to be as comfortable as possible. But I will say, I meditated the best in the beginning, naked in the tub. Already had a tub, already got water. So just, you know.
And think of it like this. If there comes a day you can't do nothing, you got to pick up and go, how you gonna pray, how you gonna meditate, what would you do then without all these different modalities, all these crystals? That's all well and good, but at your core, what would you do? Go in. You know what I'm saying?
That's all you have left. Spirituality. Then you're stuck with the birds and all these other things. And
then sometimes they're more powerful than all this other stuff.
Yeah, like that's why people like use the singing bowls and stuff. I need to. I haven't done that in a long time. If you guys want me to do a session for you here, and I think I have a session on my Roses Quartz YouTube, but not here. But if you guys want a session here or would like to see that, let me know down in the comments, and I will do that for you.
That sounds super pretty.
But yeah, that's and also like how we said we wanted to discuss how spirituality and creativity are linked, and I feel like you're better at explaining that than I am.
With creativity and spirituality, like my handles are I create with as an I, not in I is
right.
the I.
It's 3Y3.
3Y3, meaning intuitive creation. And when, like, right now I'm in this phase where graphic design, and then that's more technical and stuff like that. But when it comes to creativity, when I'm in organic, like as far as using my hands and not the computer, again, that's meditation for me.
Yeah.
That allows me to pour
spirituality.
Because sometimes trying to journal, it don't work for me.
It doesn't work for me sometimes, and I'm a writer.
I was like, I used to like to write. What is it? You know what I'm saying? But once
I start writing, I can write. I read a lot.
And then they look like two totally different people.
Yeah, it's so freaky when I do that. Like sometimes I can't read my handwriting, and it's not like I was writing that fast. It's like a different side of me. Like I will tell you, there's definitely multiple people in here, and I can definitely see in my handwriting that it's not always the same person.
Right.
Because I'll go away and come back and when the fuck, where did that sentence come from? And whose handwriting is this?
I done read you some stuff. I'm like, dude,
like that was, or me, like I'll read it back and I was like, that shit is fire. Like what? Like what was I on that day?
Right. And then for me, when I started feeling like disconnected from journaling, I will be, especially if I'm feeling really intense about something, I'll turn on my recorder and then I'll speak it instead of writing it, because sometimes I just like I think so much. But then when I sit down to I hate the sound of my voice.
I hated it, but now I realize I don't know what and maybe because I'm older and my voice has changed. I do like the sound of my voice now, but I still don't like want to just sit there. Like I can watch my TikTok video over and over again of me speaking, but I don't want to just listen to voice messages.
And I found that my voice changes where I am in it. And you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm like in a whole, like I call it my annoying voice. When I'm just like irritated, my voice sounds so fucking annoying. But when I'm at peace and you know what I'm saying, it feels like it's more sultry and just flowy. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's more you as opposed to more frustrating. Right,
because when I'm bitching, it sounds like my inner child bitching.
Me too. Very much so.
And I found like even when I get into like music, you know what I'm saying, when I sing and you know I play something back, I can tell exactly where I was at, whether I was sad, whether I was feeling creative, or whether I just wanted to get something out.
Music itself is a form of spirituality. I am so in love with music, like all like we all know how I feel about Prince. But outside of that, well, it's so like I do love him, but it's just part of me loving him is because his energy is so beautiful and it's so overwhelming, but in the best of ways. So I can literally put on Prince and feel his energy and just be surrounded by it, and it shuts everything else off. So that for me is like meditation. And also it helps me to reset and clear my mind and get back to where you need to be.
And with music too, it depending on where you are consciously or not even spiritually, but just where you are in that day, songs mean totally different things. Like
you hear different parts of it too.
His name Camel was like, it's called Transparency. And when I initially listened to it, I thought and he says it clear when I he was talking spirit, and it was like, show me these things beyond the veil. And I'm like, and I didn't even think to go back to it, but I needed it that day. I was looking for something, and I kept humming, and I've been trying to make sure to pay attention to signs and try to flex my connection. You know what I'm saying?
And I do that sometimes too. I realize I listen to the same songs over and over again, but different days I'll hear different words because that's how my because that's how my guides communicate with me, because they know that's where I'm listening and that's where I'm in the present moment. So definitely music is a huge part of my life. even without me dating a musician.
That's just okay.
Even though I've realized I've dated, everybody that I've dated has been some musician or has something to do with music. Like, I genuinely love music, and at some point I'm gonna focus more on doing my own.
We got some stuff that, like, this podcast is for
it's
us
definitely
to,
gonna grow.
it's to grow, and we both do so many different things, and I feel like we should share it. You know what I'm saying? We sometimes,
and there's a lot of people that do that too. And I feel like, I know I felt real alone. Like, prior to meeting you, I felt alone, and I felt like, you know, nobody understood me, and I didn't really have anybody that was like me. And we are very different, but we do have similarities. So we kind of want to,
ebbs and flows even in the differences.
Right.
I'm so glad you're different.
Yes. Yes. But, and it's all love. Even the things that we're different is like, I see why you, or I don't get it, but it is what it is. It's you. It's not for everything. Right. It's not for us to understand.
She's the only person that can say that shit.
That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Because we know we love each other, though.
Shut up.
That's that. Right. That's the thing. Because I can have somebody tell me, I don't like that, and you gonna get a quick fuck you. Whereas to you might say it, and I'm like, I probably need to look that over and make sure. And even after I look it over, if I still like it, I'm like, no, that's what I meant. But I'm not upset with you for saying it.
It doesn't get defensive.
And I take it as love because you said it. Because you took the time to let me know. You know, you're not just, I hate it when these people let their friends go up on what is this, singing shows? Like, you ain't got one friend.
Where's your friends at?
And it's not like they trying to break you down. They trying to make sure that don't nobody else talk bad about you.
Right.
But
when it comes to sin, I learned the most beautiful thing. It's like, sin isn't what the Bible teaches you. Sin is doing anything that goes against what you were sent here for.
Yeah.
And that means if you're hoarding your gifts, that's a sin. You know what I'm saying? Because it can't grow, it can't expand, and therefore you can't grow, therefore you can't expand. That's why we stay stuck in this cycle because you won't get out of it. Yeah, because of comfort.
The best thing you can do is to discover who you are, and
first things first,
and to be that person. Find a way to be that person. And I know firsthand that's not always easy, and especially if you're anything like me, it's hard sometimes because I'm not always the same person. I literally change every day.
And religion is for some people, because some people
need to be told
what to do, and that's how. And sometimes, like, even with people wanting to,
that's why I don't bash people that like want to, you know, do religion.
Everything ain't for everybody.
It's not
like, just don't bash me.
Yeah, just let me be me. I am. You be you. I'm good with you being you. Just don't try to force what you think is right onto me. That's my issue. Like, I don't know how many times I've had Christians walk up to me and say the most foul, disgusting shit. Even my family member, I have a family member, and I won't say who, but she basically, you know, she is Christian, and she basically was like, I would rather you stay in an unhealthy relationship with a man than be happy with a woman, or have your daughter have two mothers. Like, but as long as she's loved and she's happy, like, I don't understand.
It's so fucked up because there's a whole people who think like that.
Yeah, it's sick. And I know they think we're sick, but it is what it is. Just stay where you are and let us stay where we are. And, you know, it is what it is.
We can peacefully coexist.
But
or not.
The point of this episode was to you know, we kind of sidetracked. But the point is, we went back and forth with, you know, our journey with spirituality, and it's okay for you to second guess. You just go back to the beginning, or go back to what made you choose this path in the first place, and go through those steps and see if maybe you should be back with religion, or maybe going back to the beginning will jumpstart you and make you remember what it was that sent you there.
Religion made me who I am, because if it wasn't for the things that I didn't know or didn't feel good about, it wouldn't have led me to go explore other things. Yeah. So I would have just been sitting there like, this is stupid, but I'll just deal with it because I'm supposed to.
Yeah, don't settle. I just, that's one thing. Like, keep no matter what. It don't matter if you choose spirituality or religion. The best thing you can do is
be the best you.
Yes. Be the best you. For no other reason besides you should. Because you will help the world the most by finding out who you are. Because if nothing else, it makes you a happier person, a better person. And we all, every single, and I know it sounds cliche, but every single one of us has a gift. Even if you don't know what it is, even if you don't, even if it seems like it's stupid, it's not. Somebody needs that gift. And if nothing else, there's someone else that has that gift as well. So be who you are. Be unapologetically who you are.
The goal is to wake up every morning and look in the mirror and say,
but you don't force that. You do that from inside. You know what I'm saying? You love you first. And I guarantee you're gonna love everybody else.
And then when you love you so much, people don't have a choice but to love you.
Or hate you.
Or
because I find that
right. But even that's love still. Because there's something about me that you love so much that you can't have, and you can't pinpoint, or something that you think I have such an anointing on me that it bothers you that much, and because you can't figure it out, you hate me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true.
But you love me though.
And then those are the ones that watch you so much that they start to act like you. Oh my God, it's crazy, it's weird. But anyway, yeah, that's it. Don't choose what's right. Don't beat yourself up. Okay? Don't let anybody else tell you what you should and should not do.
In your own way.
Do what in your own makes you happy. Be yourself. We love you. We out. See y'all next week.